Hello, sisters. Welcome, everyone, to HB Ministries, a faith-based community for women to believe, behold, and become all God's created them to be. How do we do this? In these episodes, we specifically do daily devotionals. We pick a theme, and you know the drill, ladies that are here. We pick a theme, and for March, our theme is being stretched. Every week, we're going to do something different that stretches us. And for this first week, we are learning to focus our mind and quiet our mind so we can recognize God's voice. So if you are wanting to know what all the verses look like, if you want to set up your calendar, it's never too late to do this. Go over to Heather Baxter, Facebook page. I'm sorry, it's HB Bible Study and Resource page. HB Bible Study and Resource page. It's a group, I'll accept you, and there you will find the calendar nicely there on a picture so you can go ahead and put all your verses in, color code it. Please, if you are over on Heather Baxter, that resource page right now and you're accepted and you're in, leave a picture of your calendar. Upload a picture and say, here's my calendar for March, because it encourages and stirs each other on. I think it is awesome when you guys DM those to me. And I would like to start screenshotting them, and I'm going to start putting them over on the HB resource page too. So if you're seeing this, your calendar's set up, I want to see it. I want to see that calendar. So this is the calendar for March, and we are already on March 6th, and we're going to talk about that verse today. I did not upload yesterday because we were traveling back from Fort Myers Beach, Florida. And I ended up with, you can tell why I'm wearing glasses, I ended up with a scratched eye. Yesterday's was actually miserable. Yeah, the day I was flying home. And all this morning it was miserable because I ended up going in the beach with my daughter swimming and jumping waves. The waves were so fun that day, and I did not take my contacts off. And it was also windy, so I was almost gonna say the snow blew into my contact. The sand blew into my contact or got caught behind it, and I believe scratched my eye. I know exactly what happened because I have my drops in now, and it's absolutely healing. I'll just rest it and I'll shut my eyes for about a half hour at a time, and it's healing. So I'm thanking God for that. Nothing but just, doctor said today, take your contacts out, let it rest, and your eye will heal. So that's what happened, and I really didn't feel like going on because it just looked so miserable. Still feels kind of yucky, but we weren't gonna miss today because I'm home, I'm more comfortable in my own home, and things are good. The other exciting thing was I was able to open my real Bible. You guys know the love I have for her. So many of you have also purchased her, but she could not fit in my suitcase because I wanted to take some shoes, and you know, y'all, this thing weighs a lot. This is a big Bible. So I ended up just using my Bible app on vacation, and that worked great. So we're gonna get back into the swing of things while we're home here. Again, if you're new, welcome, welcome. I'm excited. Jump on and do these monthlies with us. Grab a friend, do it in a community, and go ahead and leave a comment in the drop-down box right below this video. Tell me where you're from if you're new, say hey. And also, how did the verse touch you? Because other people go through and read the comments, and you are actually increasing somebody else's faith by being real and vulnerable and sharing what's going on in your life. That makes a community real, and that's what it's all about. And today's verse is about believing and beholding and something that God's doing in the presence of God in your life. So when we share that, it's all right there, sisters. That is the key. So let's go ahead and read Exodus 19, verse 9. And we're going to go over here. And I have it right here, and it says, so Moses, verse 9. And the Lord said to Moses, behold, there's our word, ladies, behold, I come to you in the thick cloud, that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. Do you see our two words? Believe and behold. Believe and behold. The two words are right in our verse, and that is my total purpose statement for HB Ministries. It's been the purpose statement for HB Ministries for the past 15 years when God started the ministry. It's also on all of my books and studies that I write. Believe, behold, and become all God has created you to be. So I was so excited when those two words were in today's verse. So what is the notes that I took down I want to talk to you about? We're going to break it down. If you have a piece of paper, if you're taking notes right under your devotional, here's your notes for today. First of all, the presence of God is the title of today's devotional, the presence of God. And the reason why I titled it that is because in this verse, the Lord is coming in a thick cloud. Anywhere in the Bible that you see the word thick cloud or cloud, it represents the presence of God. Anywhere. I have a challenge for you to look up two more verses. I jotted them down, and they're verse Psalms 97:2, Psalms 97:2, and Job 22:14. Job 22:14. You are going to see in both of those verses that the dark cloud is mentioned, and you're going to notice that it revolves around the presence of God. So you can find several verses in the Bible where you see the word cloud or you see darkness, and it represents the presence of God. I want you to get that huge in today's devotional, because that's really what we're going to see. And so God's presence is in the clouds, and he wants to interact with us daily, but he's going to do it in a very interesting way. So in order to recognize how God's working in your life, you have to know that he's showing up in the dark clouds of your life. Now, in scripture, he literally worked through darkness, because think about this. Think about this. Before Jesus came, the Lord spoke, and I did write this down, and I loved this. He was a very personal God, and he showed up to Moses in person. But nobody back then could have been able to look upon his glory, because it was so powerful. The glory of God was amazing. And everyone in scripture that was presented with the presence of God in front of them, the Lord showed up in a cloud, a pillar of a cloud, or a cloud. So his let's put it this way. His majesty and his glory was masked, but his presence was still there. Okay. And I find that to be very, very powerful. And later he shows up with his son. The presence of God comes with his son. Now today, I believe darkness can represent a depression in our life, a fear in our life, a season where we're having dark moments. And I wrote that down. But you have to know that your God, our God, is just as personal in those times as he was when he showed up in a cloud to Moses and when he showed up in person as Jesus and did miracles. And, you know, back then, many people had a hard time believing also. And yet, they could hear him. They could see what Moses was doing, and then Jesus yet in person doing miracles, and yet people struggled. And so we still struggle today. And my goal today is for you to really believe and behold, and then it's your job for other people to see the presence of God in your life if you are going through a dark season. Because the presence of God is going to show up in that dark season. He's in the cloud. He is in the cloud, sister. So think about it. Everything that goes on is done to glorify God. And in this verse, it says, behold, I come to you in a thick cloud. And then it says that the people may hear when I speak with you and believe you forever. Your thick cloud is somebody's testimony. This is why we're doing this book in April, because my testimony is in here. Two very serious thick cloud situations that I spoke about, and some other things. I'm in here and I speak about my family and the suicides. I know that's a sensitive word, but it's a serious word, and it's a traumatic word, and it is an epidemic. I mean, it's on a rise and it's on a high, and it saddens me, but I have a whole chapter on coming to the end of your rope. And I talk about how many family members I lost. It's tragic. And our teens today, we need to be praying over them, because it's out there. People see it on social media. It's talked about more. And I'll tell you what, we need everyone to understand that God is in that thick cloud. The enemy is not going to take us down with no clouds of depression or teen suicides that are on the rise. We need to be ready. We need to prepare to give a testimony of the hope that we have. And I talk about that in this book. It is so powerful. I also talk about a season of when I went through in college, I went through a season of just making a lot of wrong choices. Well, that caught up with me. That caught up with me. That cloud followed me. God was still there. I talk about the cloud in my marriage in here, and the Lord was still there. We have to recognize his presence in our dark moments. And you know, so many people were watching me. So many people have listened to me. As a matter of fact, I was able to speak at a couple conferences, and I spoke specifically on recognizing the presence of God and his glory, that his glory is passing you by every single day. And we need to recognize that, because that is our hope. That is our hope in everything. That is our hope if we've lost somebody to suicide. That is our hope if somebody's struggling with suicide. God has a plan, and he is in fact near you. He's near you, and we need to know how to feel him. And I find that this verse is so powerful. It literally brought tears to my eyes this morning, especially because it had the believe and the behold in it, and because it talked about a thick cloud. So something that I wrote down, and I would love you to write this down on your note page, is in his presence, we are changed. In his presence, we are renewed. In his presence, we are refreshed. In his presence, miracles take place. Miracles take place. My marriage was healed. And let me tell you, that cloud was so thick. And I am filming right now and realizing that under my Jeep out there, I know this is sidebar, but a squirrel, if you can see him, he's trying to get up under my car. And last year, my Jeep did not start because a squirrel built a nest. And it's the same squirrel. It's so funny. I'm sorry, sidebar. But this squirrel lost his tail. He was attacked. And he's there. I don't know if you guys can see. I just have to show you this. This is very sidebar. He's over by the side tire, but I'm going to keep talking. And maybe he'll nope, he jumped away. Okay, let me just tell you about this little squirrel, because it is a cool story. It may just go with our story. But an animal attacked him and he lost his tail, and he was very sick and very wounded. And that was 2 years ago. And I took care of him. I was bringing him nuts out. I noticed that he created a nest in our tree, and he is healthy and back to life. It's like he's renewed. And I just cared for him, and he never, ever left our house for 2 years. Well, last year he decided to build a nest up inside of my Jeep, and my Jeep did not start. The wires were all destroyed, and I was angry at that little creature. And I knew it was him because we caught him after my Jeep was fixed, trying to get back up under my Jeep again with a bunch of stuff in his mouth. And guess what? I just caught that little stinker just now in my new Jeep up underneath it. So he has a thing for Jeeps. I have a hard time being mean to him because I love this little guy. He's been through a lot, and I think he knows me. Seriously, he hears my voice. He doesn't run from me, and he's my friend. But I don't know. I just watched him out my office window. Okay, that was so sidebar, but I'm going to be nice to him, you know? God created squirrels, and I'm going to take care of him. And you guys are probably thinking, no, get him the heck out of there. No, I will train him to stay away from my Jeep. Okay, sidebar. So miracles take place with the presence of God, and there is pleasure in nature. Oh, that's funny. There are pleasures in nature to notice when you start recognize the presence of God. You aren't going to see the ugly clouds. The ugly clouds are going to dissipate, and you're going to automatically start recognizing more of the presence of God in nature. Maybe that's why I'm finding that squirrel so cute and not ready to kill him, because he is sweet, and I was able to see him healed. So, hey, recognize what's going around you in the dark moments. Look at nature and recognize that God's presence is all around you. Sometimes we just need to go for a walk. When we're in a dark season, we need to get out and go for a walk. And also we are empowered by his presence. So I wrote those things down, and I just put again, in his presence we are changed, we are renewed, we are refreshed, miracles take place, there are pleasures in nature, and we are empowered. That is what happens. So I am praying that you can look at your thickness, your dark cloud, your thick moments, and know that God wants to be personal with you. He's there. He's also doing it so other people can hear what he has done in your life. It's all about bringing glory to him, because then other people will learn how to recognize him through you, and they'll believe and behold in a God that you are representing and you are sharing personally. So that is today's message. It was a little bit longer, but that's okay, because I missed you guys yesterday. Hoping the eye heals. I will be back on tomorrow with another devotional. And again, give me a hello if you're here for the first time. Subscribe to the channel and share these. It blesses me when you share them, because it only helps YouTube push them out more. So it's just kind of all about that YouTube thing. I'm learning about it, and the more, it's not about the work that I do, but it's about other people sharing, that YouTube says, hey, it was shared on Facebook, or it was shared there. YouTube recognizes all of that, and we are pushing the presence of God out there, and I absolutely love that. So again, be blessed. If you need the book and you have not received the book, go over to heatherbaxter.com. I have a whole area on the run book, and I have a video for every single session. So I will talk to you guys soon. I love you. Be blessed, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.